Okay, we're live, and I am going live on Instagram as well. So hello everyone. I'll just wait a few moments for you to join me. Hey, hello. Say hello once you've joined us. Hello, hello, hello. So welcome back to our weekly Facebook and Instagram live. This is becoming the highlight of my week, and yeah, I'm really happy to be here once again with you all. Today I'm sharing with you how to create an email opt-in freebie that your ideal students are going to love. Okay, so you might not quite understand what any of that means, and that's okay. That's what today's live session is all about. I'm going to take you through exactly what a freebie is, an opt-in freebie, and why you need one to grow your list, your email list. And then I'm going to take you through the steps. There's 5 steps to go through for creating your freebie and getting it set up on your website and delivering it to your ideal students, and also promoting it. Okay, so you know, maybe you've just started collecting email addresses, okay, and you're struggling to get people to sign up to your email list, or maybe you've had your email list for a while but it's just not quite growing. Okay, so if this feels like you, if you've got your email list, or even if you've not started with email marketing yet, this is a good conversation to be in, because when you do get started, you're going to understand exactly what you need to do email marketing in a really effective way. Okay, so the answer really, and what that is all about, is opt-in freebies. Okay, but not just any opt-in freebie. You need yours to be so irresistible, okay, that the visitors on your website will instantly type in their email addresses into your opt-in form. Okay, so quite simply, opt-in freebies are the single most best way to entice new subscribers to join your yoga focused email list. And you've probably signed up for these yourself. Okay, so you know, this is basically when you go onto a website, and instead of just asking you to sign up to the person's newsletter, you get an offer of some sort. So it might be something that they're going to send to you via email in exchange for your email address. Okay, so I'm sure you've all had experience of actually signing up for an opt-in freebie yourself. Okay, so it is the one thing that you absolutely need in order to grow your email list. And what it is, a free piece of downloadable content that you give to your ideal student in exchange for their email address. And the key to this successfully is to find a topic that's really relevant to your ideal student, and it really resonates with them, okay, because that's going to be the best way to attract the right people onto your email list. And that's really important, because you want the people on your email list, you want those people to be the types of students that will come to your yoga class, and the types of students that will, you know, book your workshops and go on to book your retreats. Okay, because there's no point in having people on your email list that don't really resonate with you as a yoga teacher and what you have to offer. Hello Sharon, I've just seen your little message pop up there. So glad that you're enjoying the sessions. If you've got any questions, if you come online, if you've just joined me, I know some of you have just joined me on Instagram. So my name's Kelly, I'm the founder of Digital Yoga Academy, and today I'm talking to you about email opt-in freebies to grow your email list. Okay, so there are other names for opt-in freebies, which you might have heard. So they're often called content upgrades, and also lead magnets is another term that you might have come across. And there are lots of different types of freebies that you can offer to your email subscribers. So I'll talk you through some of those now. So for instance, you might offer an ebook that you've created that maybe takes your ideal students, offers some knowledge around yoga or a specific area of yoga. You might offer a mini online course. So maybe, if you're getting people into a yoga practice and you teach yoga for beginners, then maybe it's an online course on how to get started with yoga. Perhaps you'll create a workbook or a worksheet. It could be, for instance, a breakdown of a posture. So, helping your students to, nail their headstand or whatever it might be. And maybe it's a video tutorial. You could offer a checklist, cheat sheets, webinars, spreadsheets, discount codes, free online consultations. There are so many things that you can offer for free that's valuable, that you can offer through your website to attract people to your email list, okay? So you might be thinking, well, why not just offer them a newsletter, But actually, one of the biggest mistakes that you can make is to simply create an opt-in form on your website that says, sign up for my newsletter. And I know many people do this, but actually, if you can provide something that's more valuable and you can be more descriptive in what it is that you're going to give someone in exchange for their email address, you're going to get more people signing up to your list, okay? Because this is really vital, because people are busy and they're time poor, and they want to know that they're not wasting their time. They want to know that they're going to spend some time on something that is going to offer them value and it's going to be worth their while. So it's your challenge, it's your job to create something that's going to be worth their while consuming. Okay, so another reason why it's really good to have an opt-in freebie that you offer is if you're trying to stand out in your yoga niche. Okay, so if, for instance, you are a teacher and you're knowledgeable about a specific topic, for example, you teach yoga for athletes, then creating a valuable opt-in freebie about that particular topic is really going to show your ideal students that you've got a lot of knowledge to share on that specific topic. Okay, so you can use your opt-in freebie to really kind of build up your authority on that particular subject. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. And another good thing is, if in the future you're planning to, create some kind of paid online offering, okay, so it could be, for instance, it could be, some kind of online course that your audience would pay for, so a paid offering. Then, your freebie is actually a taster of what's to come, yeah? And you want your subscribers, you want them to receive your freebie, and you want them to say, wow, if this is how freebie is, then the paid course or whatever it is must be incredible, yeah? You want to ensure that your freebie really delivers so much value that your subscribers will want to buy into your paid products and services when you've got them available. And that's, really, really, really vital. And it's a really kind of good lead-in to what else you have to offer. Okay, so hopefully you understand now what a freebie is and why you need one. And I'm going to talk you through some steps so that you can follow these steps and actually create your freebie and send it out to the world and start getting more people on your email list. Okay, if you're just joining me, do say hello. I know lots of you are joining me on Instagram right now. So say hello, and if you've got any questions, just pop them in the chat and I will be sure to answer them at the end or as we go through. Okay, so step one, the first thing you need to do before you create an opt-in freebie is do your research. Okay, so before you dive into just creating something that you think your students need, hello from Peru. So before you dive into something, I want you to make sure that you actually know what it is your students actually want, your ideal students, so that you create something that there's a need around, okay? And the best way to do this is to actually, find out what topics your students are interested in, and you can actually start this process off right now by asking yourself a few questions, okay? So you could ask yourself, what are my ideal students currently struggling with the most, yeah? And, ask yourself, what is the one question that I'm frequently asked when I'm teaching? Yeah, when at the end of your class, when your students come to talk to you, what do they ask you about? Yeah, what questions do you receive from them, either in person, maybe on social media, maybe they email you their questions. And then also ask yourself, what expertise and knowledge have you got that you can help them with? Yeah. So that will hopefully give you a little bit of a kind of starting point. And then if you're still unsure, you need to do some actual market research, okay? So strike up a conversation with some of your regular students after class. Just ask them, what are you struggling with in your yoga practice? What can I help you with? And, maybe then you can use that information to create a survey. And you could use SurveyMonkey. It's an online tool. It's free. I use it all the time for everything. It's brilliant to get feedback from your audience. And create a survey and then share it. Share it to your existing email list. Share it on your social media. Go onto Facebook and search groups. Yeah, there are hundreds of groups, thousands of groups on Facebook. I'm sure many of you are part of groups now. Many of you might be part of my private Facebook group for yoga teachers. And go on there and search for yoga-specific Facebook groups. There are so many, okay? And have a look in the search. Search for what people are asking. If you've got a few ideas already around something, just pop that in the search bar and see what comes up. Have a look through the feed, have a look at what people are asking and find out, have a look to see what people are struggling with the most, yeah? Because that's where they'll share their struggles and their questions in these types of groups, okay? And then once you've done that, you'll be able to generate a list of your ideal students' problems, and then it's time for you to choose a topic to focus on, okay? So to do this, you want to look at that list and just really see which problem best matches up with your expertise, okay? So in other words, what from that list are you most comfortable with answering, yeah? What problem are you most confident solving, yeah? Because there's no point in picking something that you don't feel you have the knowledge to share. Okay, so once you've done that and you've decided on something, the next step is to find a solution to their problem. Okay, so once you figure out what your ideal students are struggling with, you need to provide that solution. And you want to make it simple, you want to make it actionable, and something that's going to provide some fast results, yeah? So if your students, for instance, are, just starting out, on their yoga journey, and perhaps you teach yoga for beginners, perhaps that's your yoga niche, they're the types of classes that you teach. A general kind of, a general ebook on yoga, or a general yoga class that you filmed isn't really going to resonate in the same way as a checklist for beginners which shares what to expect from your first yoga class would. Okay, is that clear? Hopefully you understand that. So you really want to create something that really resonates with your ideal student. Yeah, so that checklist on what to expect from your first yoga class would resonate really well with the types of people who are just beginning on their yoga journey. If that's your ideal student, that's the type of content you want to be creating. Yeah? Okay, so really find something that resonates and connects with your yoga niche or your ideal student, and then deliver value that finds a solution to their problem. Yeah, so in a nutshell, you really want to make sure that your opt-in freebie, gives a simple, quick solution and gains your readers' trust. Okay, so it's really important. So if you can deliver that, you're going to make yourself as a teacher, as a yoga teacher, you're going to make yourself more credible. And then your subscribers and your audience are more likely to stick around. Yeah? Okay, so once you've done that, you've looked at what the need is and you've chosen a topic to focus on. Now you want to start getting on the exciting part, which is actually creating your freebie. Okay? So you need to choose a format to present the information that will make most sense to your ideal students, and also you want to make sure that it's easy to digest. Okay, so your freebie can come in so many different formats, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that in a moment. But you could have from checklists to workbooks to videos, lots of different ways that you can share your knowledge. But the goal really is to make sure that the content is perfectly suited to the format. Okay, so for example, if you're sharing a long list, okay, of like a checklist, and people love ticking things off, so if you're sharing a long list, you want to share that as a checklist. Okay, so you'll want to create a PDF document and share that as a checklist. And the design program that you use is obviously going to vary depending on the type of freebie that you're creating. Okay, so for me, for instance, if I'm recording something on my screen for a video tutorial that I'm going to share, the program that I will use is QuickTime, and that comes as standard on a Mac computer. So I'll use QuickTime to record. To do a screen recording for a video tutorial. If you're creating a checklist or a workbook or a PDF or something that's visual, then you might like to use Canva. Okay, I use Canva nearly every day. It's a great tool. There's a free version of it. It's easy to use. So if you're creating something visual like a checklist or a workbook, then Canva is a great option. And then if you wanted to do something a little bit more sophisticated, perhaps, you want to share an email challenge. And I mean, I have a number of these. Some of you might have been on some of my email challenges. So for example, just to give you some examples, I've got a 3-day list building challenge that helps you to get the first 100 people onto your email list. And if you sign up for that email challenge, that's a lead magnet, that's my opt-in freebie. If you sign up for that, you receive an email from me every day for 3 days. I have another one which is a 7-day email marketing course, and it helps you to really get started with email marketing. And in that you receive a short video from me every day for 7 days. Okay, so if you wanted to do something like that, so for instance, you could share a meditation every day for 5 days. If meditation is your thing and your ideal students are attracted to that type of freebie, then you might want to do something like that. And if you were doing something like that, you'd have to look at the email service provider that you're using. So maybe if you're using MailChimp, or perhaps ConvertKit is another one that you might be using. Getting some thumbs up there. So what you can do is in your email service provider, you would set up a sequence, an email sequence, using the automation features in your email service provider. Yeah. So for instance, in MailChimp, automation is free to use in MailChimp. If you've got up to 2,000 subscribers, And it's really easy to use. It guides you through the process. You set up each email for each day, and it sends the emails automatically for you, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so there's lots of different ways, lots of different formats that you might choose, but you want to choose the format that really works with the type of lead magnet that you're sharing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So there's a few things that you need to keep in mind when you're creating your freebie. So what you want to do first up is make sure that you incorporate your brand colors. Make sure you incorporate your brand colors and your fonts so that you can really, you know, increase the recognition of your yoga brand and the look and feel of your yoga brand. And also add your logo. Add your logo, website address. This is if you're creating perhaps a document. Make sure it's, you know, it has your look and feel, it has your branding on. You want people to be reminded, you know, where they got it from. If they print something out, you want them to know in a year's time, if they pull that document out again, that it came from you, okay? So you can also create, when you're creating a document, for example, you can also create some social media graphics to promote your freebie at the same time. So that's quite important to do that as well. And, you know, use your own photos or use some stock photos, maybe from Shutterstock or Unsplash is another option. But if design really isn't your strong point, and that whole idea of designing something just sends the fear into you, then, you know, ask your friends, ask around, ask on Facebook, do I know any designers here? And, you know, get some help if you need it, or maybe even consider taking a course just to improve some of your graphic design skills, okay? So the main thing is you want your subscribers to be blown away with how amazing your freebie looks, okay? So you really do need to put some effort into the creation because you want them to know that this is a good sign of more things to come, yeah? Okay, so next up, you want to look at how you deliver your freebie. So this is step 4. And once you've created your freebie, you're going to need a way for people to sign up to receive your freebie. Okay, so this is where the opt-in forms come in. And these are the opt-in forms that you have on your website. And, you know, you can have multiple opt-in forms across your website, okay? You don't need to just have the one opt-in form. Your opt-in forms should be prominent, they should be easy to spot, you should place them, you know, on the top section of your homepage, so make it the first thing that they see when they land on your homepage. And if you're using MailChimp actually makes this super easy for you to add forms to your site. You can add forms to the header, the footer, at the bottom of the site, sidebars. You can add forms within the actual page content itself. And again, also if you're using ConvertKit, so I know some of you use ConvertKit, and again, they provide really simple opt-in forms that you can embed right into the blog post or on the main page. You might also use a landing page that features just the opt-in, so that you know there aren't any other distracting elements on the page. I use lead pages on my own website, and with a number of my opt-in freebies, I use lead pages. And lead pages is really good for just creating a page that the only information on that page is the opt-in information, and that's it. There's nothing else there. So there's lots of different tools that you can use. But, you know, if you've got an email service provider, it will have this functionality already set up for you. It will be available. You'll use a plugin. If you've got WordPress or Squarespace, you'll use a plugin to set up the opt-in forms on your website. Okay, so don't worry about that too much. Okay, and what else can I say on that? So basically, once you've got the opt-in forms set up on your site, multiple opt-in forms, you can then set them up so that you send your freebie as an attachment with your welcome email. Okay, so as soon as somebody fills in their details on your opt-in form, they receive a welcome email from you. This is automated, again, through not WordPress, through MailChimp and ConvertKit. You'll be able to do this. So you set up your welcome email, and you set it up so that your subscriber, your new subscriber, can simply download the document, or they'll find an attachment in the email itself. Okay, so that's one way of doing it, of delivering your freebie. Another way to deliver your freebie, and this is something that I do on my own website, on Digital Yoga Academy, and that's to create a password protected page. Okay, so if you go onto my website, you'll see a tab at the top that says free resources. And what I've created is a resource library. And that resource library is full of lots of different documents, lots of different individual freebies and challenges that you can access through that password protected page. Okay, so I have so many things that I basically house them all in a resource library. And since I've had my resource library, my email list has grown. You know, it's really, the growth has really been obvious from when I just had individual freebies. Okay, so it's really worthwhile doing if you've got lots of things to share in that respect. Okay, so one thing to say here is, you know, although the process of the delivery is going to vary between the different email providers like MailChimp and ConvertKit, all of these providers, all of these platforms, they are going to have a relatively easy way to deliver your freebie to your new subscribers. So don't feel, you know, that this is a really difficult thing to do or to get your head around. It is actually easy to set up once you get into that specific area on the platform that you're using. Okay, so you know what your subscribers want. You've found a solution to their problem. You've created your freebie, you've designed it, and you've set up your delivery of the freebie through the opt-in forms and the welcome email. And then the last step, or second from last step actually, because I do have a little bonus step at the end, but step 5 is to promote your freebie, okay? Because you don't want to go to all that effort and then not actually spend some good time, promoting your freebie. So that's really the worst thing you can do, is spend all of those days researching a topic and actually creating the freebie and then not spend enough time promoting it. So first of all, and I know I've touched on this a little bit already, but the first thing you want to do is you want to create a promotional graphic for your freebie, okay? So again, as I said, you know, if you're using Canva to actually create the freebie itself, at the same time, you want to then create your promotional graphic. And the best way to do that is to show people what they're going to get, okay? So, you know, take a screenshot. If it's a document, for instance, and I do this myself, if it's a document, take a screenshot of the front of the document, layer up the pages, and just show it as a little bundle so that people can see what they're actually going to get from you. And then you can start to share your freebie, okay? So again, this is another really exciting part of the process, to share the value that you've created and to get people onto your list. And, you know, there's lots of different ways. So I'm going to run through some of those ways for you now, okay? So first up, you know, share across your social media, goes without saying. So create a standalone post, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever platforms you're using. And then pop it into the bio. So especially on Instagram, you know, pop it, mention it in the bio, link to it. If you've got it on a specific page on your site, link to your freebie. If you're using Pinterest, share it on there, link back to your website, preferably linking back to a blog post that also promotes your freebie. And that's how I kind of set my Pinterest up. And then if you're creating blog posts, you can share the freebie within the blog post, you can have opt-in forms. You can have an opt-in form at the bottom of the blog post, some pop-up windows within the blog post. So there's lots of ways you can share it on your website as well with pop-up windows. And yeah, I touched on this already, but you know, sharing it in the footer, the sidebars of your site, sharing it in the email signature. You'll be sending lots of emails throughout the week. You know, make sure just on your standard emails that you send out, you've got it in your email signature. If you're creating content that you share for other websites, like you know, if you're creating guest posts, then make sure you mention your freebie and link to it. And then also in any online forums that your ideal students are hanging out. So, you know, if you teach, you know, mums, yeah, if you teach pregnancy yoga or postnatal yoga, you know, places like Mumsnet, I mean, there are so many different parental forums on the internet. You know, have a look at them, search them out, find any forums where your ideal students are talking about yoga and get in there and share your freebie. The same with Facebook groups, and I know I've already talked about Facebook groups, but get in there and share your freebie as well. And then the last kind of bonus step, I guess, is to make sure that you analyze the success of your freebie. Okay, so keep track of the success of, you know, in terms of how many people have signed up for your freebie, how many people have actually downloaded the freebie, so you can use Google Analytics for that, and send an email to your subscribers and ask them how they've got on with your freebie. Maybe send a little survey out, you know, get their feedback, and then use that to develop more freebies and make improvements to the ones that you've actually got. Because the more that you optimize and improve this process, the more people you're going to get on your email list. Okay, so you could even go as far as, you know, testing a number of different freebies across your website, especially if you're writing blog posts. So I mentioned before the term content upgrade, and a content upgrade is actually a freebie that's related to the content in a blog post. Now, if you go onto the Digital Yoga Academy website and you read some of my blog posts, you'll see that a blog post on email marketing will promote a different freebie to a blog post on social media. Okay, so a content upgrade is basically an upgrade of the content that you've just read. It helps your readers to perhaps implement and put into practice what they've already read in your blog post. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So you could do something like that. You could create maybe 2 or 3 different freebies for your ideal students, and then test and see which one has the most success in terms of getting people onto your email list. Yeah, so I really hope that that's given you a good understanding of what a freebie is, why you need it, how to go about creating your freebie and making sure that it really resonates with the types of people that you want to have on your email list. And then, you know, how you can go about delivering your freebie, the technology that you need, the tools and platforms that you'll be using, and promoting your freebie. If there are any questions, I don't think any questions have come through from what I can see right now. I'm just going to take a little look. Nothing as yet from what I can see. So, like I said, I have got lots of freebies for you guys to help you to implement various marketing strategies, such as, you know, your email marketing. I've got a video tutorial masterclass on social media. What else have I got? I've got various email challenges. I've got a 12-day challenge on goal setting and creating a vision for your yoga business. There are lots of other documents, like I said, in the free resources, so in the library. And when you sign up for that, you'll get an email from me with a password in it. So you just pop onto the page, pop your password in, and then you'll be able to access all of those documents. But I think I'm going to switch off there. I don't think any other questions have come through. So if you do have any questions for me, just pop them in the comments. And if there's anything specifically that you would like me to come on and chat about on Facebook or Instagram, then please get in touch and let me know. And I will leave you all there. Have a beautiful week. And I will speak to you all very soon. I'll be back here at the same time next Tuesday on Instagram and Facebook. See you guys soon. Take care.